Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another video. The reason women from your past will want you back. This is very important. Now, it's not the same as a woman who rejected you when you were young, partied all that, and then get a couple kids and all of a sudden find you talking about, hey, you make a good daddy, or trying to, give the leftovers or something like that, or a woman who, even if she don't have kids, sold her Wild Oats, put you in the friend zone and come back. No, not that. When I talk about women from your past, I'm specifically talking about a woman you had a relationship with. And indeed, everything from a relationship, just boyfriend, girlfriend, living together, maybe even actually being married. And I've seen this several times with many women, and it's not talked about a lot, because on the reality, like for marriages, 80% of marriages are, or divorces rather, are initiated by women. Most of the time, women are breaking up from the men. Only a small percentage of men can routinely break up from a woman. And a regular guy, depends on the woman, he might have to kick her to the curb. All right, that happens. But let's be real, for the most part, it's the woman rolling from the man. And he could have been a good man. He ain't abuse her, do anything like that. And he was a good guy, but other women get in her ear. And I've talked about this several times on my women's channel. I told them, so they know. And I said, hold up, you don't lose that good guy because your girlfriend's saying, oh yeah, he a bad guy and stuff. And then they break up from the guy, then one of those girlfriends are with the same guy. Oh, women are cold-blooded. Women are cold-blooded. They're very competitive with each other. That's a separate conversation. But the reason they're gonna come back, like you've been in a relationship, is they realize they made a mistake. They realize you were a good man. Now, if it was a situation where you were mistreating her and all of that, they might not roll back. And indeed, sometimes, honestly, though, if you want to be technical, if you want to be realistic, sometimes they will go back to a guy who was mistreating them and everything. But we're not going to talk about that. We're talking about the genuinely good men. Genuinely good, not saying they good. These are guys, they ain't dusty. They're going to keep themselves up. You know what? They might not be an ASP or Adonis or anything like that, but you know what? They hard working and they good guys. They can have fun. Should make the woman laugh and everything. But see, one of the things with that is, and a lot of women do this, it's not talked about enough. We always hear the complaints about, there's a shortage of good men. And I talked about that before, especially many educated women. But one of the things I found through consultations, coaching, because I said a third of my clients are women, and also I was actually doing that way longer than I was doing anything for men, going back to the 90s. And many women always had that one guy that they were actually in a relationship with. I did more than a couple videos on my woman's channel telling them about that. They were actually in a good relationship. He ain't do anything. He was a good guy. He wasn't ugly to them. He was actually pretty good in bed and everything. But especially when women are young, there's a tendency to think the grass is always greener. There's always something better. One thing many women will do is they always tell their girlfriends, you can do better. Ironically, they don't tell them that when the guy's abusive and is a knucklehead, ironically. But the guy is generally good. He's steady, he's rock stable and everything. But you get the girlfriends, or even sometimes herself, she's thinking, well, I can do better. They get complacent with that guy. He ain't bringing a lot of drama, so they think, and plus they might have their own issues, and that's a whole other conversation. I had to bring in a professional psychologist for that. All right, but the thing is, women know a good guy. In fact, I'm gonna tell you something now. Just go off on a little tangent. Sometimes when women want to sow especially younger women want to sow their wild oats, they'll keep that good guy on standby. even in friendship mode, they'll keep them around because they know he good. So they'll go have their fun and then think they can come back. And indeed, sometimes you even get some women, they will either cheat or break up from that guy temporarily thinking they could come back to him. Women know a good man. The narrative that they don't know a good man is bullshit. It's straight bullshit. They know a good man. And I don't mean men who think they're good, men who are genuinely good. People can look at them and say, you know, this is a good guy. Shoot, even some of their girlfriends, but you know, they might be the ones say, what you breaking up from him for? All right, but they'll do that. But the reason they will want you back is, like, say there's a situation. All right, the woman had you in the 20s. They had you, they're going out with you. They thought they could do better. Like, I remember one situation, and I was actually cool with the guy. A woman was dealing with this guy for 3 years. As soon as this player showed just a little bit of interest in her, she dropped the guy she'd been with for 3 years. She dropped it for the player. Because I remember that, because I was cool with the player. The player's real cool with me. And I'm going to get more into that player thing in the next one. She dropped the guy. He just rolled, you know, he did his thing with it and moved on. And I knew this guy was a player because women would brag about getting with him. I ain't gonna point out anything else about him. Just he was that guy. Oh, and for the record, he was 5'9". So anyway, right? She broke up with. I mean, he pretty much did his thing, kicked it to the curb. All of a sudden, she wanted that guy back. She wanted that first guy back. See, they know a good guy. They know a good guy. What catches women up is sometimes not appreciating that good guy. And then they gotta go through some shit. They find out here, shoot, you got, you got some players who are genuinely good people. They just have multiple women, but oh, you got some straight dogs out here. Oh, you got some guys out here definitely who don't have that woman's best intentions at heart. But they get caught up in it, and then when they get burned, they all of a sudden they remember, oh wait, I had that good guy. See, understand that, and a lot of fellas might have gone through that. It's like all of a sudden that woman hitting you up talking about, hey, big head. It ain't all about she having financial trouble or anything like that. I mean, it could be, but the main reason is she knew you were a good guy. And I know some guys get mad if that woman come up with some babies or something. I mean, look, here's the thing. People talk stuff about it, but I can understand that. It's like she could have had that baby with you. Okay, I understand that. But even if let's say she don't have a child. She don't have a child, she's still single. All of a sudden she calling you back up, you know, or that text. Hey, big head. Hey, remember me? Hey, stranger. But that's the thing. And let me be clear on that. If you're a genuinely good guy, genuinely good, like you ain't trying to be a player, you got good intentions, you got the basics that any man, especially a sovereign man, should want. You got your spot. You working on the job. You got some ambition. You got drive and everything. But sometimes I'm gonna tell you what, and here's where the issue is. I've talked about this before. You got two types of women. You got a grown-ass woman, a grown woman, and you got a lot of little girls. And when I don't mean little girls as far as their actual age, but their mental maturity. There's a lot of little girls out there. And the little girl, usually when a man runs into that, says you're a good man and a little girl, and like I say, it could be a mental thing. She could have a little girl mentality in her 40s. Unfortunately, but that's the case. But definitely in their 20s and stuff. The little girl is thinking about herself. She's thinking her stuff is totally about her, you know, what you doing for her. Not thinking about what you got going on, but she's thinking about herself. What you doing for her, what you doing for her. She ain't gonna worry about that guy. The guy could be perfect. He could do all the stuff. She ain't worried about what he going through, what he got work with. The second he stopped doing for her, she ready to roll on. She looking for the next guy to do for her. And if she's attractive, oh yeah, some guy gonna do her, but not do for her. And then all of a sudden she becomes older, she gets mature, she becomes a grown woman. All of a sudden she's like, oh, wait a minute. I gotta give something back. I gotta give something. This ain't just all on him. I gotta give something. But then they realize, well, wait a minute, that guy, and then they also realize, wait, that guy was good for me, but I got to do something for him. That's the main thing. That's the thing. So I want y'all to remember that for the genuinely good men listening, not for the ones faking, but the genuinely good men. That's how it's that little girl thing versus that grown woman thing. And that's the thing. Once they grow up, they realize, oh wait, this is a good guy. Yeah, they still want that spark, that lust, that fun, but then they balance it out with being sensible. That's why you'll find some women who, I've known some young ladies, they were grown women as teenagers. Like I knew one in particular, she was a 16-year-old, and she was an intern on this job I worked on. She was a grown woman because her mother was older when she was born. Her father was in his 50s when she was born, and she just was more mature. She'd been with the same guy since she was 16, and she was very clear about it. She didn't even like hanging out with women, girls her age. She was just more mature. She was a grown woman. She got that guy, boom, held on to him, popped out some babies with him, married, happy. Last time I talked to her a few years ago on social media, happy because she was good. She's like a daughter figure to me. She really was, real sweet. But that's the thing, and that's the reason. So, you know, guys, you get that, hey, big head text or something like that, you did right. It was on her, you know. See, one unfortunate thing is that whole little girl thing need to be addressed by women. Women need to like address that thing. They need to the grown women need to grab up those little girls, even though they're little girls, and say, hold up, baby, you can't do that. You gotta have some sense. And those are the best women, though. I call them sensible women. Sensible women, you got to have your shit together. Just to be clear, you still got to have your shit together. Ain't no wrong with that. Every man should. But they're going to be more sensible. Those are the types you want to deal with. But just on the main thing, I'll get more into sensible women. I'm going to really be promoting that type of woman. There's too much talk about the bad ones. We already know everything they're doing bad. But they're good women out there. But for this video, yeah, that's the reason. She just grew up. She got some sense. Now, here's the thing with you. You don't necessarily have to take her back. It's still, is she in cooperation to your operation? So think about that if she's trying to come back. All right? So anyway, that's all I have for today. Get back with y'all later. Peace and blessings.